What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Today I'm wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2 Batgirl Super Watch. Before we get started, just want to say hey to my buddy Ben, LAPD SWAT, and all the SWAT friends and everybody in law enforcement. They have a shindig going on tomorrow night at an undisclosed location. I was invited, but I can't make it. It's just too far for me to go. But I really appreciate the invite, and I hope you guys enjoy your Rolex and your cigars and your whiskey and your wonderful night out. I know there's some prizes and giveaways, so all of my law enforcement friends, man, I hope you guys all have a great evening tomorrow night, Saturday. So anyway, without further ado, we're doing the Watch Ball Q&A, and so let's roll the intro and we'll get into it. All right, so first also, I appreciate everyone who's been liking and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it, I really do. For those of you who know me, I don't do this for any kind of monetary or money or anything like that. I just do it because I have a sick passion about watches. Anyway, the watch ball, how that works. This is something I came up with, I don't know how long ago it was, not too long ago. You ask the magic watch ball a question and it answers. The watch ball is 79% accurate 60% of the time, and she's a smart ass. Sometimes she doesn't want to answer, sometimes she can be a real pain in the ass. This is just a fun way to lighten up about all the other channels that talk about their predictions on watches when they don't have a crystal ball, and they all say, well, I don't have a crystal ball, but you know. So it's just fun. If you have questions for the Magic Watch Ball and or myself, we do this Friday night, and ask away in the comments, and there you go. Not all of them are for the watch ball. Some are just for me, some are for the watch ball, and then what I do is I give my 2 cents in. So we've got kind of a long one today, so I hope you guys can stick with it. First question comes from Dennis. Dennis, question, only one item to save. Will it be Wacko or the Magic Watch Ball? This is Wacko from the Animaniacs. I have the Warner Brothers water tower right outside my window there, so I just gave away where I live. And that's where him and his 2 siblings live normally. He has his own watch. He has a TV show. He's cool as fuck. You better believe that Wacko stays and the watch ball goes. Sorry, watch ball. No disrespect, but you know, Wacko's also developed a intuitive sense of being able to predict things. So I don't know, maybe we'll have a Magic Wacko show. So that's that. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate your question. Mike Lewis. Funny how some people think Tudor is considered by some the poor man's Rolex. Tudor have recently really come out with some really nice pieces. I have 3 Tudors, and I happen to agree with you on that. Best bang for your money, in my opinion. Tudor are a very established brand by themselves. Tony, I have a question. As you know, I drop in my local AD, check out what they have in exhibition displayed, or if anything available. As usual, it's the same old story, nothing available. However, I noticed different watches come and go on display. Can you ask your AD, does the AD return those watches that disappear and replace with different models, or does the AD sell those pieces? Shit, Mike, sorry, dude. I got so slammed this week. I completely forgot. What happens, I get the questions and I kind of quickly read it real fast and then add it to the question, then I don't read it until right now. So I didn't ask. So I'm going to kind of, you know, I really don't know. I think in some cases, like when it's new models that come out and others get discontinued, they take those and send them back. They may sell them. Some of the watches are actually dummy models. I know my AD had a couple of watches that have dummy watches in them. They don't even work. So I couldn't tell you. I will try to find out, though. You know, some questions you got to ask, and some, I mean, you know, when I ask my AD for certain things, you know, I don't want to get too in depth as to what happens. But that's not a bad question. I'm sorry, man. I'll do better next time for you. Chill Guy 849. Hi, Tony. Great video. Thanks. I don't know which one you're talking about, but I appreciate it. Also wanted to ask you if you would consider adding a Daytona to your collection at some point. If so, which configuration would it be? Thanks. Yes, absolutely, man. Daytona, man. It's like, yes, I'd love to have a Daytona. White face, Panda, you know what I mean? But if I could really afford it, I would actually go with the new Daytona that celebrates the 24-hour Le Mans, 18 karat white gold, and that's sick. That's what I would do. So thanks for your question. Chris Inman. So Tony, I've got a question for you and the watch ball. YouTube is filled with videos of flippers and gray market dealers whining about the availability of luxury watches. So the question, what would happen to the gray market if you could walk in and buy a high-end watch at retail? Availability was no longer a problem. Would it kill off the gray market business? Would the high-end brands lose their appeal now that it's no big deal to get one? And would high-end watch now sell/trade at a loss? Would flipping disappear? Let's ask the watch ball. You heard that question, right? This is a very long question, and I'm going to give you a very short answer. The market is already corrected, and the majority of those flippers have disappeared. Only the more successful ones have remained. In a sense, if you look back, depending on how old you are, not that long ago, just a few years ago, you could walk into an AD and buy just about anything you wanted with any brand, apart from a Daytona and maybe a Submariner. But there was never an issue back in those days. You could get watches, and that's the way it should be. So, having said that, yes. All right, so not that long ago, I mean, you know, I went into Rolex and got a Datejust at retail, 10% discount. Would it lose the? Let me go back to this. This is kind of a good question. Would it kill off the gray market? No, gray market's always going to be there. It's, you know, like if you look at, you know, people don't understand sort of the difference between secondary market or gray market, because the secondary market essentially is all gray market when you're selling watches. You know, I think what it is, if you look at like someone like Joma Shop, they're a huge online source for selling watches. They're gray market, but they sell brand new watches. These are watches that a lot of times, I'm not talking about Rolex, you know, other brands, whether it be Hamilton, IWC, whatever, name it, Longines, whatever, you know, they have watches that they don't sell, the ADs might not sell, and they sell them to someone like Joma Shop. Then Joma Shop sells them at a discount because they're watches that are just kind of sitting there, maybe not selling. I could probably get more in depth with that. In fact, I know I could, but it'd just be a little bit too long. So will it kill off? You know, keep in mind, yeah, this is the market is corrected. It's right now is a really good time to buy on the secondary market. You know, granted the GMT Masters are still, you know, high up there, but everything else is pretty much settling down or settled down to where I think it's going to hold for a while. And it could go back up, but you know, these gray market guys, the flippers, so to speak, aren't going into Rolex and getting these watches anymore, because the gray market, for instance, you go in and get a Datejust at retail, and you try to sell it on the secondary market, you're actually going to take a loss. So it's not worth it, is it? Of course, Daytonas and things like that. You know, there's still people that are getting the higher ones and selling those. You know, it sucks. It's just the way it is. Would it cause people to lose interest in watches if this were the case? I mean, fuck, I hope so, because the people that are all interested in this whole hype thing don't need to be involved in watches at all, because it's all about that, the money. You know what I mean? If you could go in and buy a watch at a decent price, the way it used to be with everything, you wouldn't ever usually make money on a second-hand watch. You know what I mean? You would always take a loss on it, but you know, you back then you bought it because you loved it, not because there was hype behind it, not because there was, you know, if you bought a Patek Philippe, you bought it because you love the Patek Philippe, and you could get them. You could walk into an AD and buy them. You could buy a 5711 straight up, and you would just have to buy it because you love it. Would you have been able to sell it for a profit? No, you wouldn't have. You know what I mean? You would have lost money on that. Anyway, I do appreciate your question, man, and I hope I answered it correctly. You know, so thanks. Matt, hi Tony, first time caller, long time fan. Thank you, brother. Greetings from Hertz /Essex border in the UK. Right on, man. Have a magic watch ball question that you may have an opinion on yourself. Most likely do. I'm a longtime fan of Rolex, and over the years have built up a collection of 7 pieces: a Daytona, Submariner, Sea Dweller, Datejust, etc. I am a very loyal Rolex customer and have never strayed from the brand. Obviously, you got some sick watches, right? Am I missing something by not going to other manufacturers? I once had a Breitling Navitimer 20 years ago, and I swapped it for a Sea Dweller. Didn't like it. Never really bonded with it. Agree with your point about silver Datejust face and silver Datejust hands being too difficult to read. Keep up the good work, Matt. Hey, thanks, Matt. Yeah, dude, there's a ton of other brands that, you know, I don't want to say narrow-mindedness by being just a Rolex fan. I get it. You like Rolex. I do too. I mean, Rolex is my favorite brand. But there are so many other brands out there. But the thing is, I do the same thing. I love Zenith. It's like one of my top 3 favorite. Anyway, Zenith is one of my top 3 favorite brands. And, you know, but I constantly I buy other watches, you know what I mean? Or I buy Rolex. I buy more Rolex. It's like, because Rolex is, you know, I don't know, you know, it doesn't mean you're like, it's not a problem. If that's what you love, that's what you love. You know what I mean? If you love a certain type of car, then that's what you love. You know what I mean? But it doesn't hurt. You know, you got a Breitling Navitimer. I don't blame you for getting rid of it. It's not my type of watch. But there are a lot of other brands. You know, I mean, I don't know if you like Cartier. I don't know if you like IWC. I don't know if you like Patek Philippe. Whatever brands it is, there's plenty of other brands. But if you're more drawn to Rolex, stick with Rolex, dude. You know what I mean? It's something that you know, and it's something that you love. Appreciate your question, Matt. Davis Prince. You had a long one here, man, so I don't want to get too long with this, but it's, yeah, Davis. Okay, so what he's saying is he's had an AD. He's gotten Datejust OP serviced. He bought a Datejust or an OP for his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and you know, for my 20th birthday, no date sub. You got some stuff anyway. So your question was, you appreciate how I look at things. I appreciate that, dude. Watch ball question. After gifting my SA sales associate a moon swatch at a local Starbucks, he said, as I was leaving, I'll try to get you that lefty soon. That's the Sprite, left-handed Rolex for those who don't know. That's the 126720 VTNR. With a smile on his face, he said he'll try to get that soon. Weeks ago now, and my AD has a tennis bracelet on sale for $4,000, and it's my girlfriend's birthday. My girlfriend's birthday is coming up. Obviously, I need to get her something nice, as she always does for my birthday. Should I get the tennis bracelet to help secure the Sprite on a Jubilee, or have I already secured it? Thanks. You got that, watch ball? So essentially, what you're doing is you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're actually thinking more about yourself than your girlfriend. You know, granted, it's nice to get her a nice bracelet, but really, ultimately, what you're doing is you're trying to buy yourself that Rolex. You should be ashamed of yourself. See, the watch ball can be that way, right? Thank you, watch ball. Dude, yeah, you are kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I think you've already secured it. I don't, you know, I mean, you already got him a moon swatch. You have a good rapport with him, it sounds like. He's not holding back. I'm pretty sure of it. But again, I'm not there and I don't see it, and I don't see how you guys interact, so I don't know. Would it help secure? Yeah, your girlfriend would be really happy with you, wouldn't she? And maybe it would make you happy knowing that you just got her something nice without having to think about the Rolex, you know what I mean? Think about what makes her happy for her birthday and not so much yourself for the Rolex. Kind of selfish, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so. Dude, it's not going to hurt. You know what I mean? I think you already secured it, but this buying the tennis bracelet, it's not going to hurt. It's up to you, dude. Anyway, dude, I always appreciate your questions and your comments. This next one comes from Fast Bucket Eddie. Tony with a bunch of N's. What watch should I get next? I don't know. Thanks for your question. Gregory Enright. Tony, love the videos as always. What Rolex watch do you want next? Oh, what Rolex watch do I want next? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure, Gregory. Honestly, man, you know, whatever's in my budget, I really still want an OP that has the silver dial and the yellow gold markers and hands. You know, I got my little sister, you know, she bought one a year ago, May, but I wanted one before that. That's the one I wanted a couple years ago. And then when it kind of came in, I told one, I go, just get one for my sister instead. But he got her a 34 millimeter. Then I ended up buying a bunch of other watches. So really, the 41 OP silver dial, yellow gold, you know. And if a Daytona comes in, I'll have a heart attack and whatever. So that's probably where I'm at, you know. I just love the simple things, man. I'm not bonded by hype, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, Daytonas are very cool, yeah, but that's the thing, man. I just like what I like, you know, simple as that. Anyway, I appreciate your question. TC, all right, TC. Hey Tony, question for the watch ball. I've been waiting almost a year for a sub no date. My AD offered me a two-tone bluesy. I thought about it, but ended up turning it down. I know I'd never wear it. Did I do the right thing? You did not do the right thing. You should have bought the bluesy. That would have secured you for a sub no date. Probably, most definitely. That's it? Okay. You did the right thing because you said you'd never wear it. So why would you buy it if you're not going to wear it? You know what I mean? But in the grand scheme of things, getting the bluesy, you know, yeah, would have probably secured you the Submariner. You know what I mean? You've been waiting for almost a year. I mean, that's not too long, really, in the grand scheme of things, too. But, you know, I don't know. Follow up with your AD. You know, just say, look, man, I just want to wear it, and be honest. You know, say, hey, look, you would rather have someone get the bluesy that would have really wanted it. And maybe that was their grail watch. You know what I mean? And then they were next in line or whatever it may have been, and now it was offered to you, and you took it. And they didn't get their watch, and you've got a watch you'd never wear, and it really sucks for the guy who really does want it. So, you know, but let your AD know that it's like, look, man, you know, I just wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to you know, well, you make it sound like you're a flipper, but just let them know you still want the sub, and I hope that the bluesy went to someone who really wanted it. I guarantee you they sold that watch before you hung up the phone, bro. Okay, so Jock Donson, I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last question. Jock Dodson. Okay, here's one for the Magic Watch Ball. Ask her why she's thinking of new Le Mans 100th anniversary Daytona. I think what he's saying is ask the Magic Watch Ball what she thinks of the 100th anniversary Daytona. What do you think of the 100th anniversary Daytona? Absolutely sick. Have you seen this watch? Have you? Yes. Are you talking to me? Yes, I have seen it. Not in person. I haven't held it or anything like that. This watch is the epitome of what a Daytona should be. If they made it in steel, it would be even better. But appreciate the no framed subdials. The indices on the subdials that are very consistent with what they are on the Paul Newman Daytona. It has the 100 in red on the bezel, and also the 24-hour. She's fading on the subdials. It's anyway. This is everything a Daytona should be. I agree. I fucking love that watch, man. If they made it in stainless steel, that was it. That's the end. That's it. That's what you. I definitely love the Daytona. The new Le Mans. I just think it's sick. I think aesthetically it looks exactly. It also has a display case back, because the other display case is on the platinum one. So you know, they're doing that, I guess, on the precious metal ones. But if they did do it on stainless steel, dude, Rolex are killing it, you know what I mean? They're just nailing it. So having said that, again, I appreciate everybody who subscribes, watches my channel, and you guys are awesome. So until we see you on the next one, have a great weekend, you guys.